All right, so what we're going to do today is we're going to go over how to put in a couch and an entertainment stand in one-point perspective. So in order to do that, you'll need your pencil, you'll need your eraser, and you'll need a ruler. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this in blocky. It's going to look a little bit like a bench at first, like a block size kind of letter L, and then we're going to put it into perspective. So in order to do this, what we're going to do, down here at the bottom of the floor, where you have all these converging lines for the floorboards, there's a line where the wall meets the floor. So on that line, what you want to do is you're going to put a dot. Not so close to the edge of the paper, and it doesn't have to be right like before you get underneath the window there. So you're just going to put a dot. And then from that dot, you want to erase some space out. That's why we drew lightly. So I'm going to erase some floorboards out. I'm erasing like 3 or 4, and then I'm going to erase the whole way back to the back wall. If I need to, I can go ahead and put these lines back in, but it just makes it a little bit easier to put in the couch if we don't have all these lines to look at. All right, next, what we're going to do is we're going to lightly, so you want to keep your lines light for this, sketch in an L shape. So I'm going to go from that dot. I'm going to line my ruler up at the top or bottom of the paper, or you can take a dark red line and line it up. And I'm going to lightly sketch in a vertical line. I'm going to keep it underneath my window. And then I'm going to go back to the dot, and I'm going to line my ruler up at the left or right hand side of the paper. And I'm going to sketch a horizontal line over to the right, like 1.5 inches, a little bit over that. And my vertical line is like 2 inches-ish. These are just estimates. They don't have to be exact. Okay, next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to come up here back to the vertical line. Once again, I'm going to line my ruler up at the left or right hand side of the paper and lightly sketch over a small horizontal line, keeping it under 1/2 inch. So this is going to be the cushiony part of the couch. Then I'm going to go down to the bottom right-hand corner of the couch down here, the horizontal line that you just drew. Line your ruler up at the top or bottom of the paper. And we want to put in a vertical line, roughly like up 1 inch-ish. Then I'm going to go from the top of that vertical line that I just drew, line my ruler up at the left or right hand side of the paper. I'm going to sketch a line back to the left, a little over 1 inch this time. If it's a little bit past this, it's okay. What we're going to do then is go from the edge of this horizontal line, line our ruler up at the top or bottom of the paper, and sketch a vertical line down. Okay, and you can erase the extra there. You can leave it. It doesn't matter. Next, what we're going to do, we're going to take this L shape and we're going to put it in perspective. So you want to continue to draw lightly. So the parts that we're going to go back towards the vanishing point are going to be any corner part that we see here. So I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to go from the bottom right-hand corner of the L shape, line it up with the vanishing point, and I'm going to sketch my line back, but I'm going to stop it before it gets to the back edge of the wall there. So I'm going to stop it before it gets to the back edge of the wall. Then, from the edge of that converging line that we just drew, and if yours lines up with the floorboard, great. You don't have to draw anything. You just have to pick where you're not going to, or where you're going to draw your vertical line up at. So then I'm going to go from the edge of that converging line, and line my ruler up at the top or bottom of the paper. I'm going to sketch a vertical line up lightly. And some of you might have been able to guess or see this, that we're going to go from this top corner here, line it up with the vanishing point, and sketch it back to that vertical line that we just drew. And hopefully it meets nice, like right there. But if it doesn't, no big deal. You can always erase any extra that you have there. Okay, next, I'm going to go from the top of that vertical line where the vertical line and the converging line meet. I'm going to line my ruler up at the left or right hand side of the paper, still drawing lightly, and I'm going to lightly sketch over a horizontal line. And then I'm going to go up here to the front, the corner part of the L. I'm going to line it up with a vanishing point. I'm going to sketch it back until it hits that horizontal line that we just drew. And then I'm going to erase the extra part there. And mine just happens to meet up right here on the wall part. Yours doesn't necessarily have to have that happen. It could be at a different place. All right, next, from the corner of the back right here, you can line your ruler up at the top or bottom of the paper, and you're going to lightly sketch in a vertical line. Now I drew mine up a little bit high, and that's okay. I can tell I'm going to have to erase some of that back wall because mine wasn't exactly on the line. And then from here, I'm going to go from the top right-hand corner of the L, line it up with a vanishing point, and sketch a converging line back till I hit that vertical line that I just drew, and then erase the extra. Okay, then you're going to go back to the top of the vertical line here where the vertical line and the converging line meet, and you're going to line your ruler up with the left or right hand side of the paper and sketch a small horizontal line to the left. And then we go back up here to the top left hand corner of the L and take it back towards the vanishing point and then erase any extra. So as of right now, this looks a little bit more like a bench than a couch. But to make it look like a couch, we could do this really easily by just going in and rounding some pieces out. So couches can be all different shapes and sizes. They can look all different kinds of ways. Yours don't have to look exactly like this. If you have a different couch in mind, that's fine. You can draw a different couch. But some of them have 2 seats. Some of them have 3 seats or cushions on them. So it really just depends on the size or the shape that you have there and what you want, what your couch turns out kind of looking like. So what I do for mine is I go in at first and I kind of put in the cushions. So there's usually kind of like a piece that comes over this way. And then there's going to be a line here that kind of goes back because this is how the cushions are going to go back. And then I'm just kind of going in and kind of rounding these out. Some you can erase parts of it if you want them to be a little more rounded than what you have there, but we're just sketching. Okay, and I'm going to make mine just a 2-seater, so like a love seat. So I'm just going to have 2 cushions here, and the first cushion is going to be bigger than the second cushion a little bit. And then this line that goes back, if you want to use your ruler, you can. It's going to be a horizontal line that separates them. So you can even put it in lightly as a guideline, just so you have it. And then you can go back in and kind of sketch the cushions kind of in some. The more you sit on the couch, the more your cushions are not going to be perfectly shaped. Okay, next. There's usually an armrest on this side and that side. So to put your armrest in, if you wanted to, you could just put a little mark here, and it's going to be here. And then they could be all different kinds of shapes and sizes. I'm just going to do round shapes here. And then take it back till it hits the support part of the couch, like the back. So just go in and kind of draw that in. And then I'm just going to do a little bit here because I'm going to put cushions on the back of this. So your cushions, they could be all different shapes and sizes. I mean, there's lots of different things that you could do. And then once you get the basics of your couch in there, you can go in and you can erase out some of those other lines that you're not going to see back through there necessarily. And you can start to darken in some of the other lines. Okay, some other things that you can put on the couch would be like pillows, blankets, like maybe there's a blanket kind of thrown over here on the one side, so you just kind of draw it kind of draped, and then you'd erase part of the cushions. Maybe it's got tassels on it, I don't know. Okay. You could put pillows on here, so maybe there's a little pillow, decorative pillow on the couches here. Maybe there's one here on this end, on the armrest. Maybe your armrests are not that comfortable. I don't know. But you could add things into your couch. You might want to put like a dust ruffle on the bottom here, or maybe you just want to show that your couch has got legs. The legs could be fancy and pointy, or they could just be blocky. It's really up to you. But you can just kind of sketch them in. They're a pretty small detail in your drawing. Okay, so take a couple minutes and finish up your couch, and then next we're going to move on to how to put in the entertainment stand.